At first glance, the BMW iX1 makes a bold statement. At the front, the iconic kidney grille takes center stage. Flanking the grille, the LED headlights integrate high beam assist and also daytime running lights, adding style and functionality to its visage. At the side, the short overhangs and elongated wheelbase command attention. Available in a range of different sizes and styles, the wheels of the iX1 complement its muscular silhouette, whilst the wheel arches add a touch of rough sophistication to its exterior profile. From the rear, it continues to impress. The prominent spoiler and seamlessly integrated LED taillights reflect BMW's timeless language design while adding a modern touch. You are greeted to 490 litres of boot space. However, if you want to increase that boot space by folding those rear seats down, you can do so in a 40-20-40 arrangement, but you'll have to actually do it from the rear cabin. As you can see, there's also no height difference between the back of the seats and the boot floor, which means that you can easily push those heavier objects towards the front. But how is the driving experience? How is that drivability? Well, let's join Paul and see what he makes of it. My first question for you was, what were your expectations?
My expectations were, I know it's BMW, so I know it's going to be good. It's a very, very comfy vehicle, definitely hugs you quite nicely when you sit down.
What are your thoughts in terms of responsiveness, acceleration?
This has got more than enough power than you need. For the size and shape of the vehicle and what you're doing with it, this has got plenty.
Now, since you've picked it up, have you had the chance to drive it, charge it?
Picked it up with about 80% charge, which I think is about 150 miles of range. I think it's 200 miles is its maximum range at 100%, somewhere around about there. So range-wise, yeah, okay, 200 miles of range. Doesn't sound like an awful lot, but I mean, I charged it a moment ago. We're at 195 miles of range with 96%, and we've just been on a big section of dual carriageway doing 70 miles an hour for quite some time, and we're now on a 40 mile an hour stretch.
You could definitely expect 200 miles out of this, which I think as your daily driver car, it's absolutely fine. The thing about BMW cars, BMW models, is that obviously they are known for their performance, their handling, their driving. It's, you know, alongside their looks, you know, they actually have the power and the drivability to back everything up. How are you finding that to be here? Like the handling, the suspension, comfort, how are you finding all that?
Compared to the i5, this is definitely a slightly harder ride.
Now, in terms of technology, visibility, ease of access to the buttons and configurations and stuff, how do you think that is?
I'm going to say that I had two niggles with the car, and that's one of them. You're right, you shouldn't be playing with the screen whilst you're driving, and you shouldn't need to. And in fairness, you don't. I've got my cruise control on the steering wheel here. I can play with every section and my speed limiter. And on the other side, I've got all my music controls and my telephone controls. So in reality, I don't actually need to touch that screen, but there's always that occasion where I may need to do whatever I need to do. In the i5, I had that dial, and you could just put your hand on the dial, keep your hand on the road, look at the screen, turn a little bit. You could do it over the course of a period of time, but you could soon find what you were looking for within that screen without being too heavily distracted. And in this, you don't have it. And that was one of my niggles.
If you are going for an SUV, you do expect a decent level of visibility. How are you finding that to be here?
Tons of visibility out the front. Side windows are massive, and those mirrors are like, you know, the sort of thing you'd hang on your lounge wall. They're huge again, both sides. So you've got tons of view behind you. And I mean, road noise wise, you really don't pick an awful lot of road noise up.
So how does this rank?
In my
top polls,
in my what did I call it? My top 10 kind of setup, wasn't it? It was like my favorite cars. Yeah, currently the BMW i5 sits at number 1 and the Polestar sits at number 2. Would I put this at number 3? Yeah, do you know, I'll probably put this at number 3. Yeah, BMW i5 at number 1, Polestar at number 2. I'm going to put this one at number 3.
Stepping into the iX1's front cabin here, you are greeted with an atmosphere that seamlessly blends luxury and modernity. The overall feel here is both upscale and minimalist, offering a space that's as refined as it is functional. In the driver's space, you'll find ample leg room and plenty of headroom. At 6 foot, I'm nowhere near the top of that roof lining, and these seats are extremely comfortable. When it comes to the design of the steering wheel, I absolutely love this size. I love the fact that it's chunky, it's grippy, it's ergonomic and functional. featuring intuitive buttons for your audio, but also for your cruise control functions, ensuring that you've got seamless access to your essential driver assist features. Behind it, you'll find a generously sized digital instrument cluster. And if you haven't experienced a BMW's digital instrument cluster, can't say that, you really should go and see one, because it's definitely one of the best ones out there. Moving over to the infotainment system, you are greeted to a really responsive touchscreen display. I mean, there's not much to say about this. You know, you got your normal apps, you got your phone connectivity, and you also got seamless integration with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The only thing I have to say about this is, whilst you do have your shortcut buttons on the right there, to control the climate functions, you do need to use the touchscreen. But having said that, they are actually just a touch away. Moving down from there, you've got an air vent, a little cubby for your phone that stays in place with this tab here. There's a couple of cup holders, there's a couple of USB-C ports, a 12-volt socket in here as well. And then behind it, you've got this huge bit to store other bits that you might have lying around, because we don't have a big center compartment. And as you can see, it opens the wrong way, and it's really not that deep. So you probably can only fit a phone or maybe some keys in here. Your door bins, again, they are decently sized, but not big enough for this bottle of water. And your glove box is actually quite big, to be fair. Transitioning to the rear also reveals some comfortable seating and also some decent amount of material quality. Though variety does change a little bit, but mainly just on top of these doors where you'll find the hard robust plastics. Everywhere else we got exactly the same, including the upholstery with your leather and Alcantara finish, but of course that does change depending on which trim you go for. Comfort-wise, these seats are nowhere near as comfortable as the front sports seats, but they're not bad in any way. And as you can see, even though I've set the front seats to quite a relaxed front passenger position, I still have plenty of leg room, decent amount of knee room, but I did exaggerate that relaxing position. And at the top, I mean, I'm miles away from the top of that roof lining, so no issues there. What I would say is this middle seat would be a bit of a different story, because as you know, or if you don't know, you'll now know, this guy is also offered with a petrol engine, plug-in hybrid, and also this electrified version. So you do have a bit of a center tunnel in the middle there, which means that you will have to straddle it and then obviously intrude on the leg space of your other rear passengers. In terms of niceties at the back here, you've got seat pockets, you've got a couple of air vents, a couple of USB-C ports. There's also a little tray at the bottom here, perfect for not your car keys, but maybe some glasses or even your smartphone. The rear door bins are decently sized, and you do have a very squishy, look at this. Talking about squishiness, this is squishy. It's a very squishy armrest for your rear passengers. So in terms of comfort, space and material quality, we are almost at the same level as we are in the front. Apart from the top here, and the little seats don't really wrap around you like the ones in the front do. But other than that, I don't have anything to complain about when it comes to this interior space. It's not over the top with features, making it super futuristic, but it has you covered in every single department. Even though it has a lot of competition, I still believe it has definitely a place in our current market. The design is definitely BMW, bold, stylish and sporty. The interior is comfortable and spacious. There's plenty of boot space and practicality, though it's a shame we don't have a little frunk here. And once you get behind the wheel, it is undeniably BMW. That performance, that handling, the suspension, drivability, plus the range provides you an incredibly enjoyable ride. I'm actually quite glad that BMW decided to play it quite safe with this iX1, because it means that most people will find this package quite appealing. And if you are one of those people, then why not get in touch with us on 01903 538 835 and get the iX1 or any other BMW models delivered to your front door. With all that said, if you enjoyed this review, then please do give it a thumbs up, because it helps push it to more people like you. And if you enjoy the kind of content we produce here at OSV, then do consider subscribing to our channel and become part of this amazing community of car enthusiasts. Once you've subscribed, don't forget to click on the notification bell to be notified when our next in-depth review goes live. That's all from me today. You take care and safe driving.